Okay, so today's video is just on revision of the mean and the mode and standard deviation. So the first question here, we have the mean of 3, 7, 8, 10 and the number x is 6. So this means there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 numbers, okay? Now if 5 numbers average 6, if you multiply the amount of numbers by the mean, you actually get the total. So the total is going to be 30, okay? So the total of all 5 of these numbers is 30. Then also we have to do is take away the numbers, so 30 minus 3 minus 7 minus 8 minus 10, and then we get what x is, okay? So all we have to do is 30 minus 3 minus 7 minus 8 minus 10. So now we know that x equals 2, okay? So x equals 2. So the total of all of these added together is 30, and their average is and their mean is 6. Now we're on the second question. Now the second question is the mean of, we're going to count how many numbers we have this time as well. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, okay? And this is the seventh number, is 7. So the average of these 7 numbers is 7. Find y. So first of all, 7 numbers multiplied by the average of 7 gives you 49 as a total. Now 49, we got to take away all these numbers, so we got to take away 3, take away 3, take away 7, take away 8, take away 10. Now remember, we're leaving out the 2 y's. We're leaving out the y here and the y here, so there's still 2 y's, okay? So we're going to take all these away, so just quickly input these into your calculator. And what we're going to get is 18. So 18 is left over, okay? So there's going to be 18 left over here. This means that the 2 y's must be equal to 18, because remember, all 7 numbers added together have to give you 49. This means that y must be equal to 18 divided by 2, y equals 9. Okay, now, next question. The number of goals scored by 11 members of a hockey team in 2009 were as follows. Okay, first of all we had to find the median. In order to find the median, we got to write them out in the order of size, okay? So it's going to be 0, that strikes off to 0, 1, 1. So there's going to be 0 and 2 1s. There's 2 zeros in fact, so just make sure they don't make too many easier. 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, there's 2, 2, 2. We have 6. We have 8. We have 9, we have 11, and 12. Now before you do the calculations, just do a quick count on how many numbers. Remember, we have 11 members, which means we should have 11 answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So more likely I'm right. So 11 is an odd number. So if you were to have an odd number like 5 people, okay, in an odd number like 5, there's a middle person, okay? So in an odd number like, let's say we had 5 people, the middle person is the third person, okay? So the middle person is going to be the person in the middle here. So what you got to remember about odd numbers is odd numbers have one person in the middle, while even numbers will have 2 people in the middle. So if we were to have an even amount of people, as in 6 people, we actually have 2 people in the middle that need to be counted as the median, and we have to find our average. So we divide it by 2. So to find the median, what we need to do is, we know there's 11 players. We divide 11 by 2. When we divide 11 by 2, we get 5.5. Okay, we round up, so this means that the 6th person is in the middle. So all we have to go do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th person is 2. Therefore, the answer to part 1, the median, is going to be 2. Okay, the next one, find the upper and lower quartiles. The lower quartile is referred to as Q1, and the lower quartile is basically who is 1/4 of the way up. So we divide 11 by 4. When we divide 11 by 4, we get, remember, 1 quartile means quarter, so that means 2.75. Now once again, like the median, we round this up to the third person, okay? So it's the third person. We count 3 people in, 1, 2, 3. This means that Q1, the lower quartile, must equal 1. Okay, so the next thing we gotta find out is what is the upper quartile. So let's find the upper quartile, alright? The upper quartile is referred to as Q3, which means 3/4, okay? So we're gonna multiply 11 people by 3/4, okay? And when we multiply 11 by 3/4, what we get is, we get 8.25. And this rounds up to be the 9th person. So the 9th person, okay? Or the 9th score. So the 9th person. So if we read the question, so 11 members are the 9th member. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And therefore the answer for Q3 is going to be 9. So Q3 is equal to 9. Okay. Next thing, find the interquartile range. Now what the interquartile range is, Q3 minus Q1. So 3/4 of the minus 1/4. And what we're going to get is 9 minus 1. And the answer is 8. Okay. Now, next question is question 3. Question 3. We first of all had to find the mean score, okay? Okay, so for the following questions, we're actually just going to use the calculator. So Jenny obtained these scores for the first 8 modules of the course. Find her mean score, okay? So question 1, we're trying to find her mean score. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach us how just to use the calculator here, okay? So the first thing you're going to do when you use this calculator is you're going to click the mode button, okay? When you click the mode button, you're going to click number 2, and number 2 is going to say stat. This puts your calculator into stat mode, okay? So once you've clicked your into stat mode, what it's then going to ask you is, it's going to ask you, do you want one variable? So you're going to click on number 1. Now number 1 means one variable. And what one variable means is you have one set of data or one thing to input. And the only thing we have to input is scores. That means one variable, and the variable is score. So we'll click the number 1. And once we click the number 1, what you'll be met with is the following. You'll be met with a table, okay? And the table will have X, and it'll have something called frequency on the right, okay? Now, what you can do here is, if you don't have, and there's going to be numbers on the side. Now, if you don't want to knock off the frequency mode, what you can do here is you can basically say, okay, if I don't want to knock off the frequency mode, I can basically just, if you only have one score. So for instance, for the number 63, if we only want 163 in, we put the frequency as 1. Now, if we want to knock the frequency table off, I'll show you quickly how to do that. What you need to do to knock the frequency off is the following. You need to click onto, see the setup button is green, so you're looking to get setup here, okay? So setup is what you're looking for. To get set up, you need to click the shift button. The shift button activates all the gold icons. So for instance, fact, the cube roots, the 10 to the power, okay? So you press shift, set up, okay? So shift, set up, okay? And what you need to do then is press the down button, because none of the options will apply to you. Once you press the down button, you'll see number 3, and number 3 is stat, okay? And if you click on number 3, you'll have a decision whether you want the frequency on or off. So press 1 for on, or 2 for off, okay? So that's what you can do there. So you can turn the frequency off if you want. But for our question here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the frequency on. So it'll just be more useful that way, okay? So once you've amended that, we'll go back to how we started off the question, okay? So how we started off the question was mode, stat2, one variable, and we can input all our values, okay? So to input all our values, so the next thing we have is the table here, okay? So what's going to happen with the table is the following. You're going to input all your values, so from the question, so you're going to have 49, 51, 52, 70, you're going to have 67, okay? You're going to have number 7, which is going to be 52, and the 8th value, which is going to be 76, okay? And then all of the frequencies are going to be 1, because we only have one of each. Now, once you've inputted once your table looks like this, what the next thing you need to do is press the AC button, okay? So the AC button is very much located here. Press the AC button. Then you're going to press shift. Now once again, shift activates all the gold icons. So what you're going to have to do then, you're going to have to look for the stat function. So you're down from the bottom, and all you can see is the stat here. So you're going to press shift, then the number 1, shift number 1, and then you're going to have a bunch of options, okay? And the options we're looking for is the variables. Number 4 is what's called variables, okay? So we click variables. Now, once you click variables, you're going to be given 4 options, okay? So we're only going to explain we only need 3 of them, right? The first one is n. N tells you how many numbers you've put in. So the answer for n in this question would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. N would be definitely equal to 8, okay? Option number 2 is x bar, and this means the mean, and that's the one we're looking for this question. And option number 3 is delta x, and delta x is equal to the standard deviation, okay? And we'll be using that later on. So since we're using the mean, we're just going to press 2 here, and then we're going to press equals, and then we learn that the mean is 60, okay? So it'll come out the mean x bar equals 60. So the mean equals 60, okay? And that's all we need to know about that part of the question. Now, she needs a mean score over she needs a mean score of 62 over 9 modules to pass her course. What does she need to score in her 9th module? Now, what we learned from the previous question is that when we add all of these together, okay, what can happen is when you add all of these together is we got an average of 60, okay? So there's 8 multiplied by 8 scores, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 multiplied by 60, and that's going to get you 480. Now, what we know about her upcoming course is that she wants 9 subjects or 9 modules as score 62. So if you multiply 9 by 62, you get 558. Now what you're going to know is that she's going to need she's going to need 78, so her total has to be 558. Her current total is 480, so she's going to need 78 points on her last test to get the average she wants, okay? Next question. The range for the 8 numbers shown is 40. Find 2 possible values for the missing number. So if we know the range is 40, the range is the difference between the top number and the bottom number, okay? So if we choose the lowest number, so we're going to choose the lowest number possible, okay? So the lowest number, so remember, range equals highest number minus lowest number, okay? So highest minus lowest, okay? So there's 2 options. We can put in a new highest number or a new lowest number. So let's start with new highest number. Let's call this highest number x. This means that the lowest number is going to be 5. So x minus 5 has to equal the range, which is 40. So the range is highest minus lowest. This means x has to be equal to 45. Now next do this question as the lowest number. So the current highest number would have been 42. So 42 minus y, let y be the lowest number it could be, equals 40. Therefore y must be equal to 2. So the 2 possible answers are 45 and 2. Question 5. These are the salaries of 5 employees in a small business.